Good morning to all. I am Dr. K.MAHARAJAN, Associate Professor, Department of Sociology and Social Work, ANNAMALAI University. Today I will discuss the important subject. One is Advanced Sociology Principles. The learning objectives. Number 1, to provide the students an interview of the field of sociology, to enable the students to understand the basic sociological concept. Number 3, to interpret life experience in terms of social facts. Then we discuss about the lesson. The advanced sociology principles consist of 5 units. Number 1, sociology. Unit 2, individual and society. Unit 3, social groups. Unit 4, social interactions. Unit 5, social control. Now we discuss first unit. What is sociology? The word sociology is derived from the Latin word societas, it meaning society, and the Greek word logos, it meaning study or science. Thus, the etymological meaning of sociology is the science of society. In other words, we can say sociology is the study of man's behavior in group or of interactions among human beings, of social relationship and the processes by which human group activity take places. Then definitions. According to Auguste Comte, he is a father of sociology. The founding father of sociology defined sociology as the science of social phenomena subject to natural and invariable laws, the discovery of which is the objectives of investigation. Then nature and scope of sociology. The nature and scope of sociology may be consist of different ways. Number 1, sociology is an independent science. Number 2, sociology is a social science and not a physical science. Number 3, sociology is pure and not an applied science. Sociology is a general science and not a special social science. Last one is sociology is both a rational and an empirical science. Then a little move to the scope of sociology. The scope of sociology may be classified into different things. One is specialist school or formalistic school. Second one is the synthetic school. First we see that specialist school. What is specialist school? The school supports us through the Charles Simmel, Max Weber and Frederick Tonis. The main view of the school regarding the scope of sociology. The specialist school may be consist of in different area. Number 1, the sociology is a specific, pure and independent social science. Number 2, sociology studies the various forms of social relationship. Number 3, the scope of sociology is very narrow and limited. Number 4, the sociology deals with a specific form of human relationship. Number 5, sociology need not study all the events connected with social science. The last one is the charge symbol believes that it is a specific social science and it should deal with social relationship from different angles. Then synthetic school. The supporters of synthetic school are the sociologists like Ginsberg, Emil Durkheim, August Comte, Petrim Sorokin, Herbert Spencer, Ward and L.T. Hobhouse. According to synthetic school, maybe analysis the following areas. The synthetic school, number 1, the sociology is a general and a synthetic social science. Number 2, the scope of sociology is very vast. Number 3, sociology needs help from other social sciences. Number 4, sociology is a synthesis of social science. The last one is sociology is closely related with other social science. The next one is importance of sociology. The importance of sociology may be classified in the following points. The number 1, sociology studies society in a scientific way. Before the emergency of sociology, there was no systematic and scientific attempt to study human society with all its complexities. Number 2, the sociology throw more light on the social nature of man. Sociology evolves deep into the social nature of man. Number 3, sociology improves our understanding of society and increase the power of social action, capabilities, talents and limitations. Number 4, the study of sociology helps us to know not only our society and man, but also others, their motives, aspirations, status, occupations, traditions, customs, institutions, culture, etc. The last one is the contribution of sociology is not less significant in enriching culture. Then the important one things, the relations of sociology with other sciences. The sociology belongs to the family of social science. Sociology is very close near the relationship with other social sciences. For example, sociology and history, sociology and economics, sociology and anthropology, sociology and political science. Then the theories of sociology, particularly in functionalism in sociological theory. Functionalism is a system of thinking based on the idea of Emil Durkheim that looks at society from a large scale perspective. It examines the necessary structures that make up a society and how each part helps to keep the society stable. According to functionalism, society is heading toward an equilibrium. The next one is conflict theory. The conflict theory was first developed by Karl Marx. Karl Marx is a theory of society is in a state of perpetual conflict because of competition for limited resources. The conflict theory holds that social order is maintained by domination and power rather than by consciousness and conformity. What are the examples of conflict theories in sociology? The conflict theories are theories that see society as being made up of two or more groups with competing the one is competing and incompatible interest. The two main conflict theories that we study in sociology are Marxism and feminism, which see society divided by social class and gender respectively. The conflict theory consists of 5 stages. One is latent stage, perceived stage, felt stage, manifest stage, aftermath stage. The latent stage consists of participants not yet aware of conflict. The perceived stage, the participants aware of conflict exists. The felt stage express stress and anxiety. The manifest stage consists of conflict is open and can be observed. The last one is outcome of conflict, resolution or dissolution. Then social exchange theory. It is important theory in sociology. Each and every society interact with one to another because one is given, another one is taken. This theory based on this one. So, the social exchange theory is a concept based on the nation that the relationship between two people is created through a process of cost benefit analysis. In other words, it is metric designed to determine the effort poured in by an individual in a person to person relationship. The interactionism is micro sociological perspective that argues meaning to be produced through the interactions of individuals. The social interactions is an face-to-face process consisting of actions, reactions and mutual adoptions between two or more individuals with the goal of communicating with others. The next one is phenomenology. Phenomenology first considered by Edmund Husserl. A phenomenological research study is a study that attempts to understand people's participation, perspectives and understandings of a particular situation. An example of phenomenology is studying the green flash that sometimes happens just after sunset or just before sunrise. That is the green flash and green ray are meteorological optical phenomena that sometimes occur transiently around the moment of sunset or sunrise. The phenomenology is a term that is applied to a range to diverse approaches to social scientific inquiry including the following. Number 1, radical approaches, approaches that argue for a pre-scientific grasp of society. Number 3, approaches that emphasize understanding or interpretation rather than explanation. Number 4, approaches that are concerned with actors' meanings. The next one is the phenomenology and the sociology. The phenomenologist views human behavior that people say and do as a product of how people interpret the world. Then the task of the phenomenologist, and for us the qualitative methodologist, is to capture this process of interpretation. Then phenomenology can be considered a particular research methodology in the social sciences. When social scientists study people, they need to focus on one aspect of a person's life, one situation or one particular set of attitudes or responses is to capture this process of interpretation. Then through phenomenology, the social scientist may focus on a person's experience. The last one is the social scientist hope to get an idea of what is like to be that other person, to understand what they see, hear and otherwise function. Then ethnomethodology. The ethnomethodology approach was developed by Harold Kernfeigel. It is based on Alfred Schutte's phenomenological reconstructions of Max Weber's sociology. The meaning and definition of ethnomethodology. The ethnomethodology is a perspective within sociology which focuses on the way people make sense of their everyday life. Ethnomethodology is a study of how social order is produced in and through process of social interactions. It generally seeks to provide an alternative to mainstream sociological approaches. In its most radical form, it poses challenges to the social science as a whole. The last one is the social reality and the social fact are constructed, produced and organized through the important actions and circumstances of everyday life. How it differs from other sociological perspective. Number 1, the one common methods used in ethnomethodological studies: conservation analysis, participants observation, interweaving, collection of artifacts and text. The last one is learning from ethnomethodology. Then next one is the difference between phenomenology and ethnomethodology. The phenomenology is a 20th century philosophical way of thinking about the nature of reality which has influenced sociology. Then ethnomethodology integrates a personalism, concerns for social order into phenomenology and examines the means by which action make ordinary life possible. Conclusion. The first unit concludes the idea of eternal methodology or in a general similar to those of the symbolic interactionist. Both symbolic interactionist and the eternal methodologist are principally concerned with studying interpersonal social interaction. Both regard social interaction as consisting of meaningful communicative activity between persons involving mutual interpretative work. The last one is, however, eternal methodologists have chosen to ask. Now we discussed the second unit. One is individual and society. What is the meaning of individual and society? The individual lives and acts within society, but society is nothing in spite of the combination of individuals for cooperative effort. On the other hand, the society exists to serve individuals, not the other way around. The human life and society almost together. The society does not exist independently without individual. The individual lives and acts within society, but society is nothing in spite of the combination of individuals for cooperative effort. On the other hand, society exists to serve individuals, not the other way ground. Human life and society almost go together. Now we discuss the important one thing is individual society is socialization. What is socialization? Socialization is a process of learning to behave in a way that is acceptable to society. Socialization is a continuous process whereby an individual acquires a personal identity and learns the norms, values, behavior and social skills appropriate to his or her social position. The definition of socialization. According to Agban, socialization is a process of learning the norms of the group and society. According to D.E.P.T., the lifelong process by which an individual becomes the proper member of society and develop human characteristics. The next one is the process of socialization. The process of socialization is transforming the human animals into a human social being. It converts the biological being into a human being. In other words, we can say it is a process of inducting the individual into the social world. Socialization is a social learning. This learning is not intermittent but continuous. We begin as children, pass through adolescence into adulthood, marry, become parents, enter middle age, retire and grow old. With each role come new patterns of behavior that we must learn. Thus, throughout our life, we are involved in the socialization process. This one is agency of socialization. Every children he mold in the society that belongs to so many agencies. So, here our subject related to 4 different important agents of socialization during our life are: number 1 family, number 2 peers group, number 3 school, number 4 mass media. First we see that family. Family as a agency of socialization, because family is the first social institution. Family is considered the most important agent of socialization. The family teaches us how to function and care for ourselves. They also teach us close relationships and group life. They provide us with our first system of values, norms and beliefs. The second one is peer group as another agencies of socialization. The peer group is a primary group composed of individuals of roughly equal age and similar social characteristics. Next to the family, the peer groups play a vital role in the socialization process of human beings. As children grow older, forces outside of the family influences and change their behavior among them. In particular, children begin to relate more and more to their peer groups and learn many things from their peers. The school is as another age. Schools not only teach, it comprise reading, writing and other basic skills, but they also teach students to develop themselves, discipline themselves, cooperate with others, obey rules and test their achievements through competitions. Schools have the formal responsibility of imparting knowledge in those disciplines which are most central to adult functioning in our society. It has been said that the learning at home is on a personal, emotional level, whereas learning at school is basically intellectual. The last one is the mass media as a agency of socialization in the children. From early forms of print technology to electronic communication, particularly radio, TV, etc., the media is playing a central role in shaping the personality of individuals. Since the last century, technological innovations such as radio, motion, pictures, recorder, music and television have become important agents of socialization. To conclude, Socialization is mean to turn us into conforming members of society. The next one is social group. Social group means different things to different persons. Some people say that a group is a number of units of anything, is close proximity to one another. Thus, the number of persons working together or sitting face to face in a single room or bus or railway compartment may be regarded as example of groups. Likewise, a number of houses on a street, number plans is an airport, a number of buses in the bus stand or a number of trees in a forest may also be accepted as the other example of groups. According to some other people, a group consists of individuals who do not know each other at all. A group also implies any aggregation of human beings. But judging from the strict sociological point of view, the different versions of groups which we have already mentioned do not give us a correct idea about what a social group means. The definition of social groups. There are many scholars who have attempted defining social groups in different ways. Some of the important definitions are mentioned below. According to Arnold W. Green says that a group is a aggregate of individuals which persist in time, which has one or more interests and activities in common and which is organized. Then characteristics of social groups. The characteristics of social groups consist of different areas. One is collection of individuals, interactions among members, mutual awareness, we feeling, group unity and solidarity, common interests, group norms, similar behavior, size of the group and dynamic. These are important characteristics of social group. Then types of group. The types of social group consist of, according to C.H. Cooley classified, two types of group. One is primary group, another one is secondary group. Primary group, for example, blood relations. Secondary group, teachers and others. Then second one is W.G. Summers classification, that group classified in group and out group. Then functions of a group. The functions of group may be one, the help of organization, achieve their goals and objectives. Number two, they help solve organizational issues. Number three, they create a healthy environment in an organization. Number four, they help employees raise issues. The last one is they motivate employees to perform better. Then culture. Culture can be defined as all the ways of life, including arts, beliefs and institutions of a population that are passed down from generation to generation. Culture has been called the way of life for an entire society. As such, it includes codes of manners, dress, language, religion, rituals and art. Culture can be defined as all the behaviors of life, arts, beliefs and institution of population that are passed down from generation to generation. Culture has been called the way of life for an entire society. According to sociologist William F. Ogben, cultural law is a common societal phenomenon due to the tendency of material culture to evolve and change rapidly and voluminously, while non-material culture tends to resist change and remain fixed for a far longer period of time. The next one is ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism is a term applied to the culture and ethnic bias, wherever conscious or unconscious, in which an individual views the world from the perspective of his or her own groups, establishing the in-group as a rating all other groups with reference to. Stratification stands for the arrangements of people in a society into various layers on the basis of social status. The term stratification was originally derived from geology. The geological terms stratum means layers and strata means layers. Stratum means layer and strata means layers. The term stratification refers to the structure of earth in terms it is natural properties as revealed in its layers. The social sciences have borrowed in term and applied. It is the arrangements of people in society. According to Raymond W. Muir, social stratification is a horizontal division of society into high and lower social units. The next one is forms of social stratification. The forms of social stratification may be consist of in different areas. One is slavery, to estate, number 3 social class, number 4 the lower class, number 5 the working class, then middle class, the upper class and caste. Then we discuss status and role. First of all, we see that status. Status is used to refer to a position in society which a person holds. The term may be used to refer to all of the different statuses which an individual has, such as father, husband, brother, son, banker, etc. In all cultures, individuals members of the society will hold many different statuses. Then role. The role is used to refer to the behavior pattern which is associated with a particular status. Each status has its own pattern of behavior which a person occupying that particular status will follow. As a result of the number of status which an individual in a society holds, any individual will be playing a number of different roles. Then type of status. There are two different type of status. One is ascribed status, another one is achieved status. First we discuss ascribed status. The ascribed status are those which are fixed for an individual at birth. Ascribed status are those over which the individual has absolutely no choice. Ascribed status that exist in all societies include those based upon sex, age, race, ethnic group and family background. For example, a person born into a wealthy family has a high ascribed status based solely on the social networks and economic advantages that one gains from being born into a family with more resources than others. In all societies, prescribe different attitudes and roles to men, women. These differences are shown to be justified in terms of the psychological differences between the two sexes. Age is an important factor used by all the societies for role assignments. It is a position that is neither earned nor chosen but assigned. These rigid social designators remain fixed throughout an individual's life and are inseparable from the positive or negative stereotypes that are linked with one's ascribed status. The ascribed status plays an important role in societies because it can provide the members with a defined and unified identity, no matter where an individual's ascribed status may place him or her in the social hierarchy. Each has a set of roles and expectations that are directly linked to each ascribed status and thus provides a social identity. Then achieved status. The achieved status is a social position a person takes on voluntarily that reflects both personal ability and merit. In modern societies, most of the occupational status are achieved, for example, a teacher, a collector, etc. Individuals have control over their achieved status in so far as there are no restrictions that are associated with their ascribed status that could potentially hinder their social growth. Ascribed status plays an important role in societies because it can provide the members with a defined and unified identity. No matter where an individual's ascribed status may place him or her in the social hierarchy, each has a set of roles and expectations that are directly linked to each ascribed status and thus provides a social identity. The next one is social control. The purpose of social control is to bring about conformity in a particular group of society. It regulates the interest of both the individual and the group in the way that is beneficial to both. Sociologists define social change as changes in human interactions and relationship that transform culture and social institutions. These changes occur over time and often have profound long-term consequences for society. The social control is a concept within the discipline of the social sciences. Social control is described as a certain set of rules and standards in society that keep individuals bound to conventional standards as well as to the use of formalized mechanisms. The disciplinary model was the forerunner to the control model. Social change occurs due to various factors such as demographic, technological, cultural, political, economic and educational. These factors often act on concrete, resulting in changes either in a serial manner or something in a parallel to. What are the important factors of social change? The major change of social change include population growth and competition and culture and technology, the natural environment and social conflict. So, cultural log refer to a delayed change in one sector of society in response to a change in another sector of society. Then theories of social change. There are many theories of social change. Number one is evolutionary theories of social change. The evolutionary theories of social change is based on the assumption that societies change gradually from simple to complex form. According to them, social change means progress toward something better. They saw changes positive and beneficial. Societies would necessarily reach new and higher level of civilization. Then cyclical theory. The cyclical theory, according to Spengler and Arnold J., they argued that societies and civilizations change according to cycles of rise, decline and fall just as individuals, persons are born, mature, old age and death. The cyclic change is variation on unilinear theory. The two key social structure changes are identified. The power of state expanded and its monopolization over the capacity is violence, that is punishment, became more legitimate, and there was a development of greater economic interdependencies among individuals with the expansion of the market economy. Then the conflict theory. The conflict theory first developed by Karl Marx. It's a theory of the society is in a state of perpetual conflict because of competition for limited resources. Conflict theory holds that social order is maintained by domination and power rather than by consensus and conformity. Thank you very much. Rather to ask how a sense of order